Hey everyone, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we will be discussing the hit Netflix reality show, Selling Sunset. We'll talk about what the show is about, the amazing homes featured, and we will definitely get into the drama between the women on the show and my thoughts on much more. But before we get started, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, please leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on today's video, as well as other topics you would want to see in the future. Now, let's get started. Now, I like to describe myself as someone who currently has wine taste but beer budget. In the meantime, before I ultimately start making my millions, I choose to watch shows that show me the nice things that I will be adding to my vision board. Selling Sunset is no exception. Well, some exception, but we'll get into that later. Selling Sunset is a reality TV show on Netflix. The show premiered in March of 2019 and currently has 3 seasons. The show centers around the Oppenheim Group's real estate brokerage firm. The brokerage is owned and ran by Jason and Brett Oppenheim and employs a group of women real estate agents. The show starts off with Brett and Jason telling Quinn, Vander, Mary Fitzgerald, and Heather Young about the new addition to the group, Chrishell Stause. From there, we get to watch the dynamic of the group as Chrishell attempts to assimilate into it. While she's off doing that, the audience gets to see all the offerings of working as a real estate agent in California. Now, before we go any further into them and their personal lives, we first need to talk about the homes on the show. I've never wanted to live in California personally, but now all I can think about is the Valley. However, the prices of the homes never fail to humble me. Luxury properties are just amazing to look at and aspire for and give a lot of great ideas for what someone would want in a home, from the layout to features to even decorations. And real estate in and of itself is really good to get into if you're looking to grow wealth. Obviously, as we can tell based on these people, as they are very much rich. It also looks like a lot of work, but it looks so glamorous and I love it and I just love to see it. Anyway, back to the regular show. Now on to the women and the men of the show. This will include everyone that's already been introduced in the summary, as well as some others. And also, this is all going to be my opinion, as I don't know these people personally, but since they're putting themselves out there, I would like to discuss what they presented to us. Now let's begin. Let me start off by saying that everyone on the show is really gorgeous. I have my feelings about the personalities, but that's down the line. They keep things entertaining, and they show us that they can work hard and look good doing it, which is always a plus. So now, into the first people, the Oppenheim brothers. So for me, the twins are kind of just there. They're running their business. They're not really bothering anyone, and I truly love that about them. They kind of keep to themselves, and that's the best part. They have their moments where they're hard on the woman, but a lot of it does seem like it's coming from a good place and a good business-focused place as well. I can never find myself getting too bothered by the twins, because once they've done something, they usually follow up with a dinner party, and even though I'm not eating the food, it's still something that gets to my heart, so I never really can be mad at them for too long. Moving up my list, we have Romain, who was Mary's boyfriend turned fiancé turned husband. I don't have much to say about him. He doesn't work at the Oppenheim Group, but he was mostly brought up when him and Mary were in the trenches of planning their wedding. He seems really nice, but I will say I wasn't a fan of him initially, when how he seemed to come out of nowhere with the ring, after basically telling Mary that he doesn't want kids for a couple of years. For those who don't watch the show, this would then put Mary out of her optimal childbearing years, and this really seemed to hurt her. So to me, the timing felt really off, but it's their life, and if that's what makes them happy, then good for them. I will say that I do stand behind his negative feelings about Davina. I would feel some type of way myself if someone downplayed the ring I got from my fiance because it wasn't a real diamond. Maybe that's just the broke man's mindset and it's diamonds or bust, but I would never openly disrespect someone's engagement ring, especially not in front of my coworkers and friends. However, would I uninvite someone for my wedding for that? Probably not. With the way Davina had presented herself on the show, I know I wouldn't want her at my wedding, but it would depend on the person for me. Next, we might as well talk about Mary. I like Mary, she seems nice. For the most part, she stays in her lane, which I appreciate. I like how supportive she is of the other women, like she goes to their parties, she goes to their showings. She was even there for Chrishell when she was going through her divorce and really empathized with her, and I really appreciated that. She doesn't like confrontation, which I like because it balances the dynamics of the group a bit. However, I will say that the group's claims of Mary receiving favoritism does have some weight to it. Mary, yes, you only dated Jason a year, but you've known the man for 15. That's bound to cause some form of favoritism, even if it isn't intentional, and I wish Mary and Jason would just stop denying it. So now on to Amanza. Amanza is someone who I don't have beef with on the show. I just wish she was more punctual and didn't get into it with the other women. So starting with the punctuality, let me start off by saying that Amanza is known to be late to things. She prides herself on still getting there, but we have seen her be late to multiple showings, to events, and even to a showing that she took on behalf of Heather, who she was already trying to work on her relationship with. And then she doubles down by telling Heather's client that she went to a party which looks so bad. And Heather was supporting her boyfriend and attending his kid's birthday party, and I don't believe that was conveyed until Heather clarified, but either way, it shouldn't have been said at all. Moving on, I like that she can hold her own, but some of these women just like to fight and hold grudges, and it's simply not worth it. For example, Amanza and Christine are just two different personalities, and I feel like they would never be on the same page, especially regarding Mary. So the conversation that they had about it and her wasn't even worth it, in my opinion. And staying on her relationship with Christine, I think it's funny how it was pretty much understood that she was Christine's new target after Chrishell. That I don't like either. But anyways. Now Maya. Same concepts, we like Maya over on this channel. In this house, at this moment, we want Maya to win. We want her and her cute little family to win. We want her to get more properties to sell and make more money and then win in that way. We want her to be happy and just winning. However, I have my love-hate relationship with this one thing about her, and that is Maya is shady. She tells it like it is and will drag someone if she finds the need to. But she masks it as a joke, and I just wish she would just drag them with her chest. Maya, we know how you actually feel. Why don't you just say it and then leave it at that? But yeah, I just want her to stay with the group, but I know that she would do fine if she did get her broker's license and then start selling in Florida. I have no doubt about it. Now Heather, I straddle the fence about. I think she's great and really hardworking. I just feel like the things she prioritizes and takes to heart are a bit skewed. Her fight with Amanza. Again, I wish Amanza wouldn't have said anything, but it was coming from a good place. Amanza just wanted her to be aware of what getting close to a partner's kids can do, especially if you were to break up. Heather took this really to heart, as if Amanza was preying on her downfall, and I just wish she hadn't taken it there, but I don't know. I'm just glad that they worked it out and worked on selling the property together. It showed us a soft moment between them, and I just really enjoyed that. Going back to taking things to heart, Heather also didn't like that Christine just openly said she didn't like her back in season 1, which I understood because I don't feel like there was much basis for it either, but now she's friends with her, and it's not like they worked it out. Christine is still picking on her. She got mad at her for wasting Heather's own client's time and not having a house ready for a showing, and Heather calling her out about it. She made fun of her, saying that she's calling paparazzi on herself, and she also told her to stop being a little bee when she was defending Mary. But yet she still associates with her. Heather doesn't even seem to give me the vibes that Christine and Davina do, so why does she keep associating herself with them? I don't know, but I'm just really excited to see her get married. I just know that her wedding is going to be glamorous. Now Davina. Davina has no business being as mean as she is. She likes to call it being blunt and honest, but it comes off as rude. If there was positive intent, then being blunt is acceptable. But I found that she and Christine only seem to bring up being blunt when they're being called out. They both like to make it seem like the person they're fighting with is misinterpreting them, and that they're not understanding where they're coming from. But in reality, they just seem like they're gaslighting and projecting, in my opinion. For example, Davina threw Chrishell under the bus to Mary and the other women for asking her a question about Mary and Romain's relationship, where she, Davina, misinterpreted Chrishell and made it sound like she was being malicious. And then she goes on to question Chrishell for not throwing her right back under the bus when she called out her for misinterpreting it. And this is a super side note, question for the audience. If you feel like someone was speaking poorly of a coworker, wouldn't you discuss that with them first, before exposing it over dinner to everyone? Let me know in the comments. I want to know if I'm reaching. I honestly feel like her being uninvited to Mary's wedding was simply her karma after that, so there's that. I feel like Davina could be great, but she needs to keep her thoughts to herself. She doesn't mind the business that pays her, which is ironic because the business that does pay her isn't, because she couldn't sell his $75 million house. Anyways, there's more I could say on that, but I'll just leave it at that. Now, Chrishell. I just want Chrishell to win. I just want her to win in all aspects of her life. I want her to win in real estate. I want her to win on Dancing with the Stars. I want her to win in love. I want her to win in life. Chrishell, for me, I feel like got more heat than ever deserved when she got to the brokerage. Weirdly enough, I feel like Chrishell comes off as so likable and such a girl next door that it gets under the skin of those who don't possess that. On top of that, she's legitimately nice, but not nice enough to get walked on, so all that combined is just too powerful. Chrishell has this ambition that I really admire. I like that she was single-handedly opening a new market for the brokerage in the valley. I also like that she adapts to what she needs to do. If she wants to get properties before anyone else, she goes to builders on a new home and gives them the info about how they can get their property sold when they finish. She wants to get a new client to pick her over another agent. She meets with them where they're at, like how she went on a dog walk with the owner of the WAG app. In summary, Chrishell just has what I want. She has the personality, she's pretty, she's punctual, she's just all of it, and I want it. But anyways, now on to our last person, Christine. I just can't with Christine. She is just the bad guy and thrives in that role, and no matter how much I dislike what she does, I slightly respect it, but I don't. So, she knows she's the mean girl of the show, right? But because she creates such a spectacle, it balances it out. She stays well dressed, she has whales on a speed dial, so she sells houses. Her parties and showings are always events. I mean, Botox and burgers, a zebra at her engagement party, and her wedding even had snow. So yeah, I can get that appeal, but she could do all that and not have beef with the other girls. Like, she disliked Heather for not much of a reason back in season 1. She got mad at Mary for not having her back in a fight that was over a year ago. She even fought with her ride or die Davina because Davina didn't appreciate her doing a showing for the house Davina was selling without even telling her afterwards, causing her client to question her about it. And then don't even get me started on her and Chrishell. Christine's beef with Chrishell never made sense to me, and I felt like Chrishell was really justified in not wanting to be Christine's friend. Like, how could you be friends with someone when you hear that they got mad because you supposedly didn't accept their flowers, which Chrishell couldn't have because she wasn't home when they were delivered? And then they doubled down and mistakenly said that they were for your dead dog when they were supposed to be for your late father who died of cancer. Like, how unaware of others can you be, honestly? And then Christine gets upset when things are said about her, which in most cases, yes, I wouldn't like to be trash talked behind my back, but Christine literally has something to say about everyone and even childishly imitates them when she doesn't feel like recounting what actually was said, which to me feels like her way of not exposing the facts that were made, but that's another story. Long story short, Christine, unlike Davina, just comes off as insecure to me. Christine has it all. She travels around the world. Her wedding was literally all about her because she didn't even have a wedding party. She's successful in her career, and she's rich. Like, why are you constantly in drama? Why are you letting these other girls live in your head rent-free? You could be so much better, and it is so disappointing. But anyways, that's all I have to say on Selling Sunset for now. Now, as always, I turn the mic over to y'all. What do you think of the show? Do you agree with my mini review / rant of the show? Have you watched or are going to watch Selling Sunset? Let me know in the comments below. So, for a mini speed round recap, I'm really ready for season 4. I'm wicked excited about it, actually. I like a majority of the girls and the guys. Christine and Davina, please do better. And I hope there's another really expensive house that one of the women get to sell this time. But yeah, so anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!